Hi there, this is Sadia. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, and I'm Keith. 5 places you have to see when in New York.
In the last lesson, lesson 18, you learned how to talk about the frequency of actions.
You also learned about the verb to say, adverbs of frequency, and won't.
In this lesson, you'll learn how to express desire to do something and about adverbs of probability.
This conversation takes place outside of Madison Square Garden, the famous sports arena.
The conversation is between Zoe and his 2 colleagues.
Well, let's listen to the conversation.
Thank you again.
Sozo, what will you do this weekend?
I'm not sure. On Saturday and Sunday, I'll do a homestay. So I have 3 days. I want to go to the MoMA.
Oh, the MoMA is great. Will you go to the Guggenheim?
Probably. I really want to go.
And what about the Hamptons?
Maybe. I want to go there, but I don't know. It's a little far.
And Coney Island?
Probably, but I'm not sure.
Oh, St. John the Divine?
What's that?
St. John the Divine. It's a really old, huge cathedral on Amsterdam Avenue in Morningside Heights, uptown.
Can you please write down the name?
One more time, slowly.
Thank you again.
Sozo, what will you do this weekend?
I'm not sure. On Saturday and Sunday, I'll do a homestay. So I have 3 days. I want to go to the MoMA.
Oh, the MoMA is great. Will you go to the Guggenheim?
Probably. I really want to go.
And what about the Hamptons?
Maybe I want to go there. But I don't know. It's a little far.
And Coney Island?
Probably, but I'm not sure.
Oh, St. John the Divine?
What's that?
St. John the Divine. It's a really old, huge cathedral on Amsterdam Avenue in Morningside Heights, uptown.
Can you please write down the name?
All right, so this is an exciting dialogue, and it makes me want to go on vacation.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Zoe is sharing his plans for the rest of his trip with his coworkers, and he's got a pretty full trip planned. Not only is he going to do a homestay, but he's also going to visit a number of pretty well-known New York sites.
First, they mentioned MoMA, which is the Museum of Modern Art. The Guggenheim Museum, and Sadio, where else?
They also talk about the Hamptons and Coney Island and the Cathedral Church of St. John the Divine.
Wow. I've never gone to that one.
Oh, yeah?
Well, actually, the museums, they're very easy to go to.
That's true.
But the Hamptons and Coney Island, they're a little farther. So it's a little difficult to go to.
Let's talk about the MoMA then. The Museum of Modern Art, MoMA, is an art museum that's on 53rd between 5th and 6th Avenues here in Manhattan. The MoMA is said to have one of the biggest and most important collections of modern art in the world.
That's why it's so famous, I think.
In addition to art, it has a really extensive library and a restaurant.
Restaurant? I never ate at the restaurant.
Me neither.
I'll have to check it out sometime.
Next, they mentioned the Guggenheim.
That's a huge and really modern white building on 5th Avenue, right?
It's really awesome looking, it's super modern, and it was designed by the American architect Frank Lloyd Wright.
And they have a modern art collection too, right?
And they also have like Impressionist art maybe, and maybe some post-Impressionist art. Next is Coney Island.
Coney Island, it's a cool place to go to. It's a classic New York place to go to.
Where is it exactly?
It's on the southernmost part of Brooklyn. It's actually pretty far from Manhattan. Maybe it'll take about an hour to get
really?
there. It's kind of far.
So should I check it out, you think?
It's a nice place for a one-day date, I think.
Ah, okay. Finally, they talk about this place called the Cathedral Church of St. John the Divine, which is uptown on Amsterdam Avenue between like 110th and 113th. And that's called Morningside Heights, that neighborhood.
And that thing is really big.
It is. It's enormous. And from what I understand, a lot of tourists go there because it's one of the largest churches in the world.
Wow, really?
Yeah. It's an interesting thing to see, I think.
Zoe has a full trip ahead. He's going to a lot of places.
Right. He has a lot of plans, and I really wish that I could join him.
All right, let's take a look at the vocabulary for this lesson.
To do.
To do.
To perform. To make happen.
To do.
To do.
Week.
Week.
7 days.
Week.
Week.
Homestay.
Homestay.
A stay at a residence or home by a traveler.
Homestay.
Homestay.
To want.
To want.
To desire.
To want.
To want.
To go.
To go.
To move or travel to.
To go.
To go.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Surely. Will certainly happen or is certainly true.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Probably.
Probably.
Without much doubt. Likely to happen.
Probably.
Probably.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Possibly. But not certainly. Perhaps.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Not likely to happen.
Probably not.
Probably not.
All right, so to help us out, what are we first taking a look at?
Let's look at the phrase, I'm not sure.
And this is basically the same as I don't know.
The only difference is I don't know means, I really don't know. But I'm not sure, when someone says that, they have some idea.
They know a little bit, I think.
Let's look at I'll do a homestay. To do a homestay means to participate in a homestay program.
A homestay is a type of study abroad program that lets a foreign visitor to live in a home of a local family and let the person learn local customs, the culture, and the language in a real situation.
The homestay participant, in this case it will be Zoe, is treated as a member of the family and sometimes takes part in like the cooking or the other household chores. I did a homestay when I was in high school, and it was probably one of the best experiences of my life.
Next is, what about the Hamptons? Zoe's colleague asks Zoe if he'll be going to the Hamptons by asking, what about the Hamptons?
And this phrase is short for the complete thought, what about the Hamptons? Will you also go to the Hamptons?
Tom doesn't express this complete thought because everyone who is part of the conversation, they know what the topic of conversation is.
And the topic is where Zoe will go during his stay in New York.
Let's check out Coney Island.
This phrase is short for the complete thought, and will you go to Coney Island?
Our next phrase is?
The next phrase is, can you please write down the name?
When Zoe's colleagues mention St. John the Divine, that's the church we're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. He asked them to write it down. He says, can you please write down the name?
He makes this request polite by using the phrase, can you please? The next phrase is definitely.
This has the same meaning and is used in the same way as the words sure, absolutely, certainly, and other such one-word, very strong affirmative ideas.
Right.
Okay, the next phrase is probably.
Probably is used when an event is highly likely, when the chances are good that something will happen.
There's a chance that the event won't happen, but the chance is small.
What about maybe?
Maybe is used when some event or something could happen or possibly be true.
So when Zoe's coworkers ask him if he'll go to the Hamptons, Zoe says maybe, which is the same as, I'm not sure.
Finally, let's look at probably not.
Probably not is used when the event being talked about is not likely, when the chances of the event happening are low or slim.
So Zoe says he probably won't go to Coney Island, which means that the likelihood of him going to Coney Island is not very high. It probably won't happen.
All right, the focus points of this lesson are will and the simple future tense, the verb to want, and probably, probably not, maybe.
How about will?
Yes, will and the simple future tense.
Let's do it. Zoe and his colleagues are talking about Zoe's schedule for the rest of his stay.
He explains on Saturday and Sunday, I will do a homestay.
Will is in the simple future tense.
Which means it describes the future, what someone might do or say, or what event or events might happen. Let's review the forms of will. Singular.
I will, you will,
Now plural.
we will, you will, they will.
This is the formula for the use of the word will.
Just remember that you can make contractions with will. And what that means is you can make it shorter, and that's used in conversation or informal writing.
That's right. In the dialogue, Zoe says, I'll do a homestay. I'll is short for I will.
Let's introduce the contractions for will. How do we make it shorter?
I plus will equals I'll. I apostrophe LL.
You plus will equals you'll. Y-O-U apostrophe L-L.
He plus will equals he'll. H-E apostrophe L-L.
We plus will equals we'll. W-E apostrophe L-L.
You plus will, once more, you'll. Y-O-U apostrophe L-L.
They plus will equals they'll. T-H-E-Y apostrophe L-L.
You can also make interrogative statements or questions using will.
For example, in the dialogue, Zoe's colleague, Tom, he asks, "What will you do this week?"
Questions with will are created using this formula. Question word plus will plus subject plus verb plus object.
Okay, so in the dialogue, what, that's the question word, plus will, plus you, plus do, plus this week.
What will you do this week?
Tom also asks, "Will you go to the Guggenheim?"
Will plus you plus go plus to plus the Guggenheim. Will you go to the Guggenheim? Let's talk about the verb want now.
To want something is to desire that thing.
And to really want something is to desire it very much.
So when Zoe's colleagues ask if he'll go to the Guggenheim, Zoe says he really wants to go and that he'll probably go, which, as you can see in the vocabulary and phrases section, that means that his going to the Guggenheim is very likely. I want, you want, he wants. And there's that S on the end of the third person singular, so don't
Right.
forget it. We want, you want, they want. Surya, can you help us with some examples?
Okay. I want to go home. She wants to see a movie. They want to have dinner at our place.
You can make a sentence that uses the verb want negative by adding don't, doesn't before want. So the formula is subject plus don't or doesn't plus want plus object.
So I want to go home becomes I don't want to go home. She wants to see a movie becomes she doesn't want to see a movie. They want to have dinner at our place becomes they don't want to have dinner at our place.
That's subject plus don't or doesn't plus want plus object.
Finally, the last point of this lesson is probably, probably not, and maybe.
These are all adverbs of probability.
Adverbs of probability express the likelihood of an event.
In the dialogue, Zoe says, probably, I really want to go. And what that means is it's highly likely that he will go.
And then when he's asked about Coney Island, Zoe says, probably not. I want to go, but I probably won't. He probably will not go. It's unlikely that he'll go.
And then Tom asks Zoe about going to the Hamptons. He says, maybe, I want to go there, but I don't know. It's a little far. There, the word maybe means that it's possible, but not certain that he will go.
Let's review. Probably means that something is likely to happen. It probably will happen.
Probably not means that something is unlikely to happen. It probably will not happen. So, is this the last we'll hear about Zoe's colleague, Tom?
Probably not.
And what about the word maybe?
Maybe means that something may or may not happen. The likelihood is uncertain.
Maybe it'll happen.
And maybe not. So do you think Zoe and Michelle will take their friendship to the next level?
Maybe. Okay, well, everyone, we'll probably see you next time.
We'll definitely see you next time. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you again.
Sozo, what will you do this weekend?
I'm not sure. On Saturday and Sunday, I'll do a homestay. So I have 3 days. I want to go to the MoMA.
Oh, the MoMA is great. Will you go to the Guggenheim?
Probably. I really want to go.
And what about the Hamptons?
Maybe. I want to go there, but I don't know. It's a little far.
And Coney Island?
Probably, but I'm not sure.
Oh, St. John the Divine?
What's that?
St. John the Divine. It's a really old, huge cathedral on Amsterdam Avenue in Morgenside Heights, uptown.
Can you please write down the name?